Hey, what's going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another video. Hope you guys are all doing fantastically well and have recovered somewhat from that performance on Saturday at Villa Park. It really is just a bad place to go if you want to see a winning football team in the way of Norwich City. I've been there 4 times now, and every time it's rained very hard, we've played abysmal football, and we've lost. But I still continue to go back, and it still remains one of my favourite away days just because the vine, I think, and the curry's great. Anyway, it was a shocking performance, but we've got to put that behind us now. Let's hope we learn lessons from it, and let's hope we don't see a similar type performance and also team selection from Daniel Farke like that again this season. Anyway, Charlton coming up on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup. By the way, have you seen that the Carabao Cup third round draw is taking place at 4:15 AM GMT? So unless you're an insomniac working nights or just an incredible Carabao Cup extraordinaire, you are not going to be able to see that draw live. Anyway, let's try and progress through the Cup. Charlton, let's have a look how they're getting on. They squeezed through the first round against Exeter. They were 1-0 down and they came through it 2-1, although they made 11 changes in the last round of the Carabao Cup from their opening win of the league season, and their manager has said once again that they're going to make wholesale changes, so it's very hard to predict how Charlton are going to line up this week. Their last performance was a 4-1 win over Northampton, although 2 of them goals came in stoppage time. So fairly inconsistent Charlton this season. Of course, we beat them in pre-season. Yannick Wildschut was on the score sheet. I think it was 2-0, wasn't it? Was it Stephen Naismith, the other goal scorer, or something like that? So we've already beat them once. Let's try and beat them twice this season. So let's go with the team then. Angus Gunn in goal. I thought him and Josh Murphy were the standout performers on Saturday. It would have been, especially in the first half, there would have been another 3-4 Aston Villa goals if it wasn't for Declan Rudd. Angus Gunn, I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and he's really settling into that role nicely, considering the amount of pressure that's on him, and considering the, first senior season in football, really. So fantastic stuff from him. In at left back, I'm going to go with Stiepermann. Now, stay with me here because he was abysmal on Saturday, but there weren't many great performances. Stiepermann on Saturday, I didn't have a clue where he was playing. He could have been a right back, he could have been a left winger. He was very much floating in and out of the game. You could tell it was his first league or first full debut for Norwich City. He was off the pace, he was chasing shadows at the best of times, but I'm not convinced to a husband at all, and I want to see another left back. Now, Toffolo, I think it's probably going to be too early for him, although he did play 90 minutes for the under-23s, I believe, last week. You've got Jamal Lewis, who was, of course, injured. You've got Husband, and that's about it, unless Stiepermann is going to play elsewhere. So I'd go with Stiepermann here, solely because it's not the biggest game in the world. If we lose it, then look, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But of course, it'd be nice to win. So I'd put Stiepermann in there and just see how he gets on. I'm going to stick with the same centre-back pairing of Zimmerman and Franke, solely because it's pretty much the only options we've got at the moment until Tim Close comes back. And apparently he may be fit for the game against Millwall, which adds options, which is absolutely fantastic. But Zimmerman and Franke on the whole have been very good together. Let's not forget, Zimmerman especially was playing 4th Division German football last season, so he's still adapting. I didn't think he was great against Villa. I didn't think Franke was great against Villa, against Keenan Davis, who I thought done very well for a 19-year-old striker. But the more game time they get in a fairly consistent defensive line, the better they become. So I'm going to go with that. And in at right back, I'm going to go with Russ Martin, solely because Pinto is apparently going to be fit for this game, but I would much rather just make sure he is fully fit and ready to go for the Millwall game, because he is such a crucial part to this team, and you could see so much how much we missed him on Saturday against Aston Villa. So I'd put Russ in there. I think he's capable of doing enough against the League One side, and I don't think that is the end of the world. Now, I'm going to stick with the same formation, but I'm going to drop Harrison Reed out solely because of the sheer amount of football he's played. The kid deserves a rest. He started the season very well. So I'm going to put Alexander Tete in there in kind of that defensive role just in front of the defence. We haven't seen much of him this season. I think people have forgotten we've even got him, but Tete can still provide some value this season. So he goes in there. The midfield partnership, I'm going to go with Tom Tribal. Now, we haven't seen anything of this man so far. Daniel Farke, I think, rates him quite highly. He's fit, he's ready to go. Stick him in there and let's see what he's got. bit of a rest for Mario Vrancic as well. Next to him, I'm going to go with Maddison. I think once again, we missed him big time on Saturday. I said it in the match review, I said it in the match day experience. I think Chris mentioned it in his fan cam as well, that the defence was poor and so was the attacking line, but I think it was all down to the lacklustre midfield that made us look so bad. There was no connection between the strike force and the midfield, and when we got the ball, we just gave it straight back away because our midfield was so poor. So bringing Maddison in, he retains the ball so nicely and he gives that extra bit of creativity going forwards as well. So that is why I'd stick Maddison in there. And I think I agree with Chris as well, although some players deserve rest. I think Harrison Reed, that's a big one, and Vrancic as well. I think they could probably get through them in terms of fitness levels, but you don't really want them to get injured in a game like this. So that is why I'm leaving them out. On the left wing, I'm going to go with Murphy, who I thought was excellent, really, really good on Saturday. His cross for Oliveira's goal was delightful. He took his goal very, very well. He gave Hutton all kinds of problems and they substituted him off because of that. So I thought Murphy was really good, and it's a great chance in this to build on that, maybe get a goal against Charlton and just keep that momentum going, because I feel like Murphy is very much a confidence player and could do with a bit of momentum and a bit of consistent game time. And I think he's going to be a big player for us this season. Out on the right, I'm going to put Vilchka in. I'm not sure why he was dropped against QPR. I'm not sure why he was brought on so late against Villa. I think Vilchka remains one of our better players in this team, and I think he provides real attacking flair going forwards. And also a bit more help for Martin, because I thought Martin was very isolated on Saturday, and he certainly didn't have his best game in a Norwich shirt, but I'm not going to put all the blame on him because he had nothing going forwards. All the times he got the ball, he was looking in front of him for a pass, and there was just never anything there, which didn't help at all. Now, the striker situation is an interesting one. Oliveira is apparently injured, although I didn't quite buy into that on Saturday. But apparently, according to Daniel Farker, I'm not saying he's lying, but Oliveira is injured with a groin strain, which also may rule him out for Saturday's game, which would be an absolute nightmare. Now, apparently, Jerome has also got a groin problem, but he's okay to play. So I'm going to put Jerome in there. I think, look, I'm not Jerome's biggest fan. I think he could do a job in this league, but the first few games of the season, he's looked very poor, and he hasn't looked like the Cameron Jerome that a lot of Norwich fans know and a lot of Norwich fans love. That player who, although he might not be the best finisher, is going to constantly hassle defenders and will chip up with a goal every now and again. On Saturday and in previous matches, he hasn't really hustled the defence as much as I'd like to see him do. He's almost just chasing shadows, and he hasn't really had a chance either. So Jerome has been poor. I hope to see him get a chance, and I hope to see him bag a goal. If not, I'd probably stick Marley Watkins up top and see what he's got. So that's the team I'd go for. I mean, you've got options here. You could put Wes in there, but do you want to play him ahead of a fairly big game on Saturday? I'm not so sure. Let me know in the comments. You could put Vrancic in here. You could put Stiepermann in a more midfield-based role and bring Toffolo in if you think he's up to fitness. You could maybe put Godfrey in. Is Godfrey fit? I'm not too sure. And you've got a few options going forwards as well. But I think the key thing here is we need to keep a team strong enough that is going to win the game, but also make sure that we have a very strong squad going into Saturday's game, because we do not need more injuries. We've got a hell of an injury list at the moment to very senior players. You look at Oliveira, you look at Pritchard. There's some other big names out, Tim Closer as well. So you want to keep a squad that is still fit and still competitive. And I think this is enough to beat a Charlton side. There's no excuses not to beat Charlton at home. And you've also got options off the bench. So that's the team I would go for. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Hit subscribe. We are very, very close to 12,000 subscribers, which will be lovely to hit anytime soon. And yeah, I'll see you very soon. Peace out.